Today's Wednesday, March 15th, 2017. You're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show.
You're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds, when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway? Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you, everybody. Good to be here. Yes, it is good to be here where I'm running a little late this morning. Thanks to the wonderful, Tuesday night or Wednesday morning Microsoft patch update. Everything was fine. And as I did my notes on the other computer, I looked to the left and I'm like, oh, my production computer is updating. It's like 30% full. Anyway, I do my first test run to make sure audio, video, all that's all set, and it doesn't work. So this show may only be the audio version, which is totally fine. And for those of you who might have watched the Elevator Radio Show on the YouTube channel or over on Facebook or wherever it might be displayed, we don't get too many of you out there. More of you are listening through the iTunes network or directly through the elevatorradioshow.com website, where it has those audio links embedded in that, also on the Blueberry channel, which we reside. But anyway, the long and short of it is that I love Microsoft Patch Wednesday or Tuesday. It's like you figure, can you not get the stuff right where you've got to like upload multiple versions of software? I mean, my wife has an Apple. I'm not a big Apple fan, or a Mac, and that computer drives me absolutely nuts. But at the same time, they don't have that level of continuous updates that's required. On top of that, half of the building's heat is not working this morning, so it's like I've got about 20 minutes to do the show today, and then get into why the heat's not working in half the office section of the building, which I'm hoping it's just a thermostat. And if you're I never was a Boy Scout, but I do try to. I try to be as prepared as I possibly can, being a business owner and trying to make life a little easier for myself. Not only that, not always is that the what actually happens, but I do try to do that. So anyway, got a good show for you today, and we'll get into it and have you through this in probably about 20 minutes, which I think that's a pretty good timeline. So again, if you're listening to the show or the audio podcast, there may or may not be a video link, and if there's not, we'll see if we can't get that fixed next week. Something exciting where Bob Shepard and myself will be getting together next, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days where I'll interview Bob, and we'll talk about the Elevator Safety Summit. The idea behind it, and I give Bob a lot of credit for creating this event and for just making it happen. It's a big commitment on his part, and at the end of the day, if we can help save a life in the space of those who work on the equipment, I think I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Sign me up. So I did put a post up on Facebook regarding it, and also we had a repost on last week's show, or between last week's show and this week's show. So I have that linked up in the show notes. I encourage you to read it, because if this doesn't tug at your heartstrings, I'm not sure what will. So anyway, we will get up in. I'm telling you, will somebody kill me or make me pay something to some entity when I say that expression? That is the worst expression in the world. I gotta stop it. Okay. All right. Next up, is the news for this week's program. If you're tuning in for the very first time, just so you know, this is a weekly podcast where I scour the internet for news content relating to elevators, escalators, moving walkways, and bring it to you in one nicely packaged program of mispronunciations and other good stuff. So we will cover the news of the week next. I got to slow down. That's what it is.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Alrighty, the first news article of the show number 462. That is 462 nights that I've gotten probably close to 2 to 3 hours of sleep. Just so you know. All right. Is Bob Shepard's repost from regarding the the Elevator Safety Summit. Read it again if you are not sure what this is about and the point behind it. Just read the post and read the excerpts from some of the mechanics' family members because again, this is what it's all about. I encourage you, if you can attend. If you're unable to, book a hotel room and get involved, please consider making a donation, $25, $50, whatever you can afford, just to show your support. If you're a mechanic, I know we got a lot of mechanics out there listening to the show. Please consider it. It's easy to do. They've got a form online, and if it is not, if you need help with that, just let me know or contact NASA International or go to the link through the website there. So. Please read it. Check it out. It is worthy of your time. Okay, next news article. The Altus Times has an article talking about in Oklahoma, House passes legislation that promotes elective courses in construction education. Apparently, high school shop and industrial arts classes have been phased out of most public schools in Oklahoma over the years. I cannot believe this. In our local high school, we have metals, we have woods, we have 3D printing, new technology, and I'm surprised how much my son is learning with CNC stuff. He loves that stuff, and the reality is that not everybody's going to go to college. So what's everybody else going to do? You're not going to work at McDonald's because the reality is those jobs are not there anymore. So this is good. I'm shocked that in a great state like Oklahoma, this has actually occurred. So not very forward thinking to imagine that these types of classes have been phased out that would give kids a pretty good taste of what working with metals and machinery and stuff is like. So I think that's important. I think we're really missing out on something there, and perhaps maybe someday there will be some type of Uber app or some type of program that'll revolutionize how we think of job creation, how we think of healthcare, because Uber changed the whole landscape and how people use not taxi service but use fare ride services, and all they did was create a network that of drivers and a monetization element that ties the two together and provides a cost-effective solution and job creation for those that might need it. I'm not a huge Uber fan. I think if they could, they would fire all their drivers and just go to autonomous self-driving cars. I think that's on the horizon. But the reality is that someday the next generation, I hope, will come up with some type of solution that will lower medical costs and healthcare costs because, it's not happening. It's not happening with the government's assistance. There's just a whole bunch of issues with that. The only thing that I see changing the game is if there is some new type of element that changes the way we think of medical care or how we think of job creation or trade education. And it will happen. Mark my words. It will not be by me, but there will be a time when we're thinking to ourselves, what a genius idea. Give you an example of how Uber, in their ride-sharing service or monetization service changed the landscape in Austin after a vote where Uber was going to be required to, do background checks and increase their security. They pulled out completely. The entire world or, city and those that love Uber or use those services is all upset about it. And at the end of the day, they're still taxis. Not to say that they're easier to use, but the reality is that, game-changing companies and apps like that can make that kind of difference. And I look forward to the day we see those types of programs, those types of apps, those types of innovative companies coming to light where they make the world a better place. That could even, spill over to safety. It's kind of like old new, and how do we get it to where it's better using new technology? It's not maybe it is virtual reality. I don't know. It's a combination of a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm excited. I am encouraged that things are going to happen that will make what we are dealing with in the world, in our countries, in our states, better. I hope it happens sooner than later. I hope it happens in my lifetime as well. Okay, next news article, third annual CEA, Chicago Elevator Association Scholarship Fundraiser. Registration is open. Sponsorship is open. It's going to be held May 18, 2017 at Hawthorne Racetrack. Map and directions are there. It's a great event. They have just closed the application process for college students, which was, I think, maybe it was the 13th, maybe it's today, I'm not sure. But there's a few different ways you can support the event, and just go to the Register Now button, enter your email address, and then you can go ahead and register that way. It's pretty simple, so that's pretty cool. It's fun to be part of that. Not a big horse racer, but it's still kind of a unique, it's a unique night to be part of, because every time I go to the horse track, I'm like, what in the world are people doing here? But anyway, it's good to see everybody once, obviously once we're there. And it's a good event to be part of. Next news article, video of last week's escalator. Okay, this is where I have the WTF, like what the blank, what the beep. Okay, and the only good thing about this, and there's really not a whole lot of good things about this, this is coming from Cairo 7 News, and bear with me while this thing blares in your ears. Let me shut the volume down. So this shows a video, and I have the still image, linked up in the show notes, and there's so much stuff going on. This shows this man and this little toddler going down an escalator. The man somehow, he doesn't vault. He climbs over the side of this down escalator. Here, let's see if we can play this.
A little girl falling and then losing her finger on a downtown Seattle transit escalator. It had already been the scene of a deadly accident at University and 3rd Avenue. And Cairo 7's Henry Rossoff is there live right now. Henry, this video clearly shows what can happen if you don't pay attention to safety warnings.
Perfect.
And I really want to draw your attention to these signs
Yes.
by all escalators in this area.
Thank goodness.
Pointing out that parents and adults need to hold the hands
Yes.
of children
Yes,
as they
yes.
go up and down the escalators. In the video that you're about to see, that clearly did not happen.
Thank you.
In
Finally.
surveillance video, you see the little girl getting onto the escalator with a man. Then as the two head down, he immediately begins looking at the stairs that run next to the escalator. He walks down a few steps and slowly climbs over, eventually getting to the stairs on the other side. As he runs back up, the little girl watches him go. She's distracted and nearly falls, but stays on her feet. A few seconds later, you see him heading down to rejoin the 2-year-old. Just as he reaches her toward the bottom of the escalator, she turns back to him and falls. We're freezing the video here because a second later is when her finger is sheared off. We were there last Friday during the frantic search to recover the finger and get it to the hospital to be reattached.
It's a great feeling that I was able to recover that quickly.
A spokesman for King County Metro told me tonight that safety is the top priority for the county, and the escalator was closed until Monday morning when state inspectors could make sure the escalator was safe. Last year, a Renton family got a $1 million settlement from Metro because a 38-year-old fell on a similar escalator at the same station. His sweatshirt was caught on the bottom and strangled him to death. Still, Metro maintains its escalators are safe and meet all state standards, and regular riders we spoke with tonight agreed.
Generally speaking, you feel pretty safe using these?
Yeah, I do. I'm running down the escalators late for work every day, so I felt perfectly safe.
Okay.
In speaking with the spokesman for Metro, I asked him if they plan on doing anything above and beyond the state standards to improve the safety of these escalators. He told me they're always looking to make things safer. Live in downtown Seattle.
All right. The only bad thing about that article was the fact that the news reporter was riding the escalator in the down direction backwards. Okay. Other than that, I commend them for basically covering the fact that the video shows that it's rider behavior. You think there's an attorney that's going to take this case and sue everybody in the world? You bet your life on it. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, unbelievable. Anyway, rider behavior. This is unbelievable. Anyway, frightening. Okay, library approves new elevator repair at the New Milford Library. That's pretty exciting news. So, anyways, they did not decide to do the entire thing. Just some minor upgrades, and that was always good to see work. Elevator at Wilson CTA station could be open by early fall. This is in Chicago. DNA info reporting. I didn't know we were building another station or remodeling one, but it looks pretty cool. I do drive home and go by the Blue Line. It's the improvements that they made with LED lighting and lighter area, paint and refreshing stuff is definitely nice. Doesn't look so run down and scary. Which a lot of stations look like, obviously, subway systems. Okay, in Canada, CBS News reporting former cabinet minister says family harassed by striking elevator workers. Oh, the stories from when in New York, that I heard about, when mechanics went on strike, pretty brutal. But apparently, former provincial cabinet minister Terry French says he and his family are being harassed by striking elevator and escalator workers who are picketing outside their Conception Bay South home. French is now president of the Construction Labor Relations Association, and that's too bad. It's stressful. Yeah, striking is stressful. So, I don't know. Some people don't handle stress and intimidation very well, and it sounds like it's embarrassing and intimidating. Well, figure it out. Make it right somehow. That's all I can say. Not that I know the details of either situation, but yeah. Okay. 71-year-old. Here, the next two articles literally have me losing faith in humankind. There were some good things this week, some bad things. This is one of the bad things. 71-year-old woman beaten in subway elevator after victim told attacker how to parent. Look at this woman. She looks really angry. And apparently, a furious mother punched a 71-year-old woman after the victim insinuated her attacker should teach her child some manners last Monday. Okay, first thing, people are crazy. You never know what somebody's going to do. I've taught my kids that, early on, listen, there's a time and a place for everything, but at the end of the day, you have no idea how crazy somebody is or what they have in their purse or what they might be carrying with them, because the last thing you need is some yahoo or some person like this basically going ballistic on a 71-year-old woman. I hope she gets the fullest extent of punishment. I really do, and she probably was having a bad day. It's even worse now. So, yeah, shame on you. 71-year-old woman you just beat up. I hope you feel good about that. I hope you serve some jail time, and I hope that, you maybe get some of that same type of service if you do go to jail for that terrible thing you did. Jeez, come on. Okay, DNA Info has an article, man beaten inside assisted living home elevator, prosecutors say. Again, makes me just wonder, what the hell's going on? West Brighton, a man beat and tried to rob another person inside the elevator of an assisted living facility after he demanded a cigarette, prosecutors said. William Anderson, 56, was inside an elevator with another 52-year-old resident of the Lakeside Manor. And anyway, he told the man, "Give me a cigarette," then punched him in the head and reached into his pockets. All right, well, I guess that's one way of asking for something. Didn't even say please. Yeah. What the hell's wrong with people? Sure, more of this goes on in the world. That's just really unfortunate. Okay, next news article. ECS opens will call center here in Chicago. If you haven't checked out their website, please do so. They've revamped their will call center, so if you need anything at all, you can go check them out. Press release is in the show notes. Next article. Let's see here. Okay, elevators transformed into dynamic devices in video games. I have not been able to play any video games lately. I'm just way too tired, but it is cool how elevators do provide a major part in a lot of a lot of games that you see today. I think 9 times out of 10, they are far from spot on when you think about the design of them and whatnot, unfortunately, because that seems to be the biggest thing I have. I'm like, that's not a real elevator panel. And as much time and effort as they take to make these, the graphics is real in real world settings, I just wish they spent a little bit more time in making sure that that side of it is accurate and representative of what an elevator will look like, the controls, et cetera, et cetera. Really more of the controls, but I'm kind of a controls guy. So anyway. Okay, next article, kdvr.com. This is why elevators are important, obviously, in the work that each of us does. Broken elevator leaves disabled tenant stuck in an apartment for days. This is a reminder for all of us who are getting older. I encourage you to consider living in a one-story building if possible, and not in a assisted care facility that has only only a minimal number of elevators. So always a thing to consider. So anyway, one side of the story, video of girls' legs. This Elite Daily has an article written by Hope Schreiber. And the first line of the article here, which just drives me ballistic: escalators should not exist. Think about it. Do they make your life any easier? You know, the reality is that they do make your life easier, and they also are a very excellent people mover for for units that need to move large number of people, like in a facility or whatnot. But anyway, I mean, the statements that are made in here are pretty pretty solid, pretty strong. And Hope, I just want to tell you that, okay, in the articles that you're linking here, there's one that shows, the accident that occurred last week in China, where the woman's leg was cut by a piece of metal that was pulled off the side of an escalator. The reason they found that the reason behind that was that she had a card on there that actually pulled it out. Rider behavior is the number one reason why people are hurt and on escalators and not riding them properly and correctly. So I'm honestly, between you and I don't have a problem taking the stairs. Some people, do and are not as able and to take stairs or mobile to do that or whatnot. And in those cases, I don't think escalators are any better for them. I think they should definitely find the elevator if they're not stable on their feet or have a difficult time, navigating up and down motion, stuff like that. But I mean, I think you missed the whole point of the story, and I wish that you shed some attention on rider behavior and also on, the fact that it's not so sensational as you indicate. So happy to call or email you anytime. So Hope, feel free to shoot me an email or whatnot. Okay, because you're only representing one side of the story, and there's articles in here that share other sides of the story. So rider behavior, ride stuff safe. Don't think that everything is gonna is safe if no matter what you do on it. You can't do that in a car, can you? Can you drive without blindfold or, So anyway, okay. Change attitude on and stay safe on escalators. This is a good article, again, linking up to one of the accident that occurred last week, where the woman had her her leg cut due to the cart that was on the escalator, and this is just an article that said, hey, stay safe. It's got good, proper information on how to ride an escalator correctly and safely, which I think is good information to share. And I don't think there's, with this many incidents occurring in China or Singapore or whatnot, it's good to continuously share that. And for more information, visit the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation at eesf.org for more safety information, programs, etc., etc. Metro escalator renovating, still climbing. I love oh man, I got so many links that are on the same one. This is not linked correctly. I apologize for that. And I think I might have the same problem with the rest of the articles, which might make our show a lot. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Okay. I forgot if I talked about this last week, but the Elevator U agenda is set. Make sure you get your registration in for that. Got an action-packed educational program. The PDF is downloadable there. You check it out. It's going to be held at the University of Virginia. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Cannot wait. That country looks beautiful. Speakers are set. Registration for booths is filling up, as well as the other stuff. So just make plans to attend that. All right. Next news article. Next CEA meeting is April 6th. Check that out. ECS Corporation will be presenting. May 18th is the CEA Scholarship Fundraiser. June 28th is the EESF CEA Scholarship Fundraiser. Yeah, right? Did I say that right? Anyway, and then August 4th is the annual golf outing. So, and the flyers in there, publication, all that good stuff is there. And I think this is the last news article of the program. Tower of Terror converts the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's coming from Elevator World Unplugged. We knew this was happening, but it's kind of sad. There's in California, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror was converted, or the last ride was taken on it, and this whole thing was converted into the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout ride, which is a little sad because anytime I went to Disney World or Disney World, not Disneyland, I would ride that ride, but I think the last time I went, I didn't want to ride it. The whole thing, they create such an awesome feel of being terrified even before you get on the elevator. I don't know if they can change that from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I haven't seen the movie, but still kind of cool. And this is a post from Angela Baldwin, so check that out. Link is in the show notes. And that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. You are tuned in to show number 462 for the Elevator Radio Show. And as always, thanks for tuning in today. It has been my absolute pleasure. Be safe out there, and we will be back next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.